Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new series where we will be discussing daily current affairs question based on the Hindu newspaper. We'll be dealing with a couple of questions around 5 to 7 covering diverse topics from your GS syllabus. So let us begin with the first question for today. So this question pertains to your GS3 environment syllabus and it talks about BS norms. The reason why I have selected this question is because of this article on the Hindu today. So a question is, how many of the given statements about BS norms are correct? So if you would have gone through the 2023 prelims question paper, you would have seen multiple questions of this pattern. So you have to practice questions of this pattern as well. So your first statement is, the Central Pollution Control Board implements these standards. BS6 fuel will bring down sulfur content by 5 times from the current BS4 levels. With BS6 fuel, for every 1 kilometer, a car will emit 80% less particulate matter, that is PM, and nearly 70% less nitrogen oxide. So the key here is, whenever UPSC gives you numbers, you have to become extra careful because there's a high probability that there's something wrong in these numbers. So if you have read about BS norms, you would be able to answer this question, although I would consider it somewhere from a medium to difficult question because there's a lot of factual data involved here. So let us have a look at the answer of this question in the next slide. So how many of the given statements are correct? The answer here is all. So the numbers also given here are correct. The Central Pollution Control Board indeed implements all of these standards, the BS standards, and BS6 fuel will actually bring down the sulfur content by 5 times if you compare it to BS4 levels. You would know that instead of shifting from BS4 to BS5, we have directly shifted to BS6 because of the higher levels of pollution in the country. Then with BS6 fuel, for every 1 kilometer that you travel, your car will emit 80% less PM, which is a significant achievement, and 70% less nitrogen oxide. So all the statements given in our question are correct. Hence our answer is C, all. Let us move to the second question for the day. So this, as you can see, is from your GS2 polity syllabus and it deals with the Speaker of Lok Sabha. So the question here is talking about 3 statements and you have to find out how many of the above statements are correct. Why this question? Because of this editorial on the Hindu newspaper today. This editorial basically talks about the pertaining issues in the office of Speaker, how the power is sometimes being misused, and what can be done to make this office more effective and transparent. So, your first statement is, the institution of Speaker and Deputy Speaker originated in India under the provision of the Government of India Act 1935. The second statement is, the Speaker once elected is not eligible for re election. The third statement is, committees like the Business Advisory Committee, the General Purpose Committee, the Rules Committee work directly under his chairmanship, his or her chairmanship. How many of the above statements are correct? This question is again a question which is roughly in the category of medium to difficult. Let us move to the next slide to find out the answer of this question as well. So the answer here is A, which means only one statement is correct. The institution of Speaker and Deputy Speaker originated in India not under the provision of the Government of India Act 1935, but the Government of India Act 1919. So this statement is incorrect. The Speaker once elected is not eligible for re-election. This is also an incorrect statement. The Speaker is indeed eligible for re-election. Committees like the Business Advisory Committee, the General Purpose Committee, and Rules Committee work directly under his chairmanship. This is a correct statement. This is also your sign to go back and revise 2 chapters, Cabinet Committees and Parliamentary Committees. All right. So the answer here is only one statement is correct. That is A. Let us move to our third question for the day. So our next question talks about a very important body which has been in the news recently. And that is the Directorate of Enforcement, popularly known as the ED. So which of the given statements about the Directorate of Enforcement are incorrect? It functions under the Department of Revenue of the Ministry of Finance. It is headquartered in Delhi. All the public servants come under the jurisdiction of the agency if they are involved in any offense related to money laundering. None. which means none of them are incorrect and all of them are correct. So see, the moment you read these words in the question, extreme words, all, if, but, you have to be extra careful and reread the question multiple number of times. Okay. So let us analyze each statement here. It functions under the Department of Revenue of Ministry of Finance. This is actually true. Even if you have a basic knowledge of the enforcement of Directorate of Enforcement, you would know that this is a correct statement. It is headquartered in Delhi. This also is a correct statement. All the public servants come under the jurisdiction of the agency if they are involved in any offense related to money laundering. So we know that this agency is majorly associated with cases of money laundering or foreign offenses, right? So even though this statement is extreme, it is actually correct, which means all the three statements are correct and none of these statements are incorrect. So our answer here in question number 3 is again D, none. Let us have a look at the detailed explanation once again. So the Directorate of Enforcement is a multidisciplinary organization. It basically is responsible for investigation of offenses of money laundering and violation of foreign exchange laws. It works under the Ministry of Finance. Even under the Ministry of Finance, the Department of Revenue. The Directorate of Enforcement is headquartered in New Delhi, and there are 5 regional offices. So initially there were only 2, but they were expanded and multiple offices were opened in various other locations. So presently there are 5 regional offices at Mumbai, Chennai, Chandigarh, Kolkata and Delhi. The agency has jurisdiction over a person or any other legal entity who commits a crime, and all the public servants, if they are involved in an offense related to money laundering, come under the jurisdiction of this agency. All right. Moving to our next question. So this is a map-based question because of this particular news present in the Hindu, which talks about Kazakhstan. So the question here is about a very special region. So there are some areas which are very often asked by UPSC, like West Asian countries, Central Asian republics, Southeast Asian countries. So you have to be very thorough of the map with the map of these regions. All right. So our question is, which Central Asian republic shares its border with all the other Central Asian republics? All the other Central Asian republics. So which country here shares its border with all the other Central Asian republics? Your options are Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. For this, you need to have a look at the map. If you do not remember the map, let us move to the next slide. So this is a detailed map. So let us analyze each and every country here. The first country is Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan shares its border with Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, which means with 3 countries. Kyrgyzstan shares its border with Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, again 3 countries. Tajikistan shares its border with Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, which means 2 countries. Turkmenistan shares its border with Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, 2 countries. But if you look at Uzbekistan, sandwiched in the middle, you would find that it shares its border with Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Turkmenistan, which means all the 4 Central Asian republics. So with this, we have the answer to our question. The answer here is D, Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan is the Central Asian Republic which shares its border with all the other Central Asian republics. Moving to our last question for the day. So this question is about Niti Aayog. Why a question on Niti Aayog? Because of this article present in the Hindu. So it talks about government preparing to release Vision India 2047 document. What is this document about? So basically, the government is worried that India, like many other countries who have followed similar growth trajectories like Argentina, for example, would be trapped in a middle income zone. Middle income zone. So based on the progress, the growth, the development that India has shown in the past years, be it per capita or GDP, there's a high chance that if proper policies are not made and steps are not taken in the right trajectory, India would be trapped in the middle income zone. So the government is preparing a document called the Vision India 2047 document in order to deal with this kind of situation and prevent this from happening and ensure that development is on the desired trajectory. And our Niti Aayog is playing a very major role in the preparation of this particular document. Hence, a question on Niti Aayog. So, which of the given statements about Niti Aayog are correct? The Prime Minister is the chairman of Niti Aayog. The Vice Chairperson of Niti Aayog is appointed by the Prime Minister. India Innovation Index Report 2021 was released by Niti Aayog recently, or all of the above are correct. So, this majorly is from your GS2 polity syllabus, but it is also a part of current affairs. So, the Prime Minister is the chairman of Niti Aayog. A very basic level of knowledge is required to answer this particular statement. This is correct, no doubt. The Vice Chairperson of Niti Aayog was appointed by the Prime Minister. Again, a correct statement. India Innovation Index Report 2021 was recently released by it. So, our Niti Aayog is a think tank. Also responsible for what? For cooperative federalism. And it also ensures that there's a comparative analysis of various states. And it releases indices for that. So, the India Innovation Index report is actually released by Niti Aayog. This is also correct. D is all of the above. So, as per our discussion, we have seen that all the three statements here are correct. So, your answer is D, all of the above. With this, we are done with our 5 questions based on the Hindu for today. I hope you like this discussion. Let me know if you have any suggestion for me in the comment section. Thank you.